Hello again and welcome to this channel, the DIY Christianity channel. Do It Yourself Christianity channel, where we seek to refine, ennoble, and sanctify you, bringing you in the presence of the Lord for appropriate worship. My name is Emily and you can call me Em, and today's topic is how to overcome sin and temptation. How to overcome sin and temptation. By the way, this is part 2 of this video, so if you haven't seen part 1, be sure to watch one of my other videos, part 1, how to overcome sin and temptation. And so this is part 2. And one of the things that came up in video number 1 is that we need to guard the avenues of our soul. And so here I wanted to just expound a little bit on why and where and when it is important to guard the avenues of our soul. And I read here a text from the Bible, Genesis 3 verse 6. It's talking about Eve when she was tempted of the devil and what she did. And it says, Genesis 3 verse 6, it says, "And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also to her husband with her, and he did eat." So we see here that Eve used the 5 senses. She used the senses to invite sin into the world. The senses of the eyes, the ears, the mouth, which also means speech, and also taste, and also the sense of touch. So Eve utilized those senses to invite the enemy, the devil, into her life and invite sin into the world. And so even in these last days and in the world today, the devil uses these avenues to get into us. And therefore it is very, very essential that we guard the avenues of our soul, because in so doing, we are closing the avenues through which the tempter will use to enter into us and gain access to our souls. So God has given us wisdom. He has given us His word. As we study, as we learn what we should do. And so guarding the avenues of the soul, watch what you read, what you see, what you hear, what you eat, or what you taste, what you speak. Those are the avenues. And what you touch. Those are the avenues to the soul through which the tempter uses. Also, closing the avenues is important because it prevents us from venturing into Satan's ground. When you close those avenues, when you make a covenant with God not to set your eyes upon something that is not appropriate, then you are helping yourself not to venture into Satan's ground. Because if you decide to watch the forbidden stuff, if you decide to listen to something that is not going to bring you into the presence of the Lord, if you decide to touch and taste that which is forbidden, then you are opening the avenues of your soul. You are inviting the tempter in. You are venturing yourself into the tempter's ground. And when you venture into the tempter's ground, you are not guaranteed protection from the Lord. And so we need to guard the avenues of our souls, because we don't want the tempter to get into us. Also, it is very important because if we don't guard the avenues of our soul, then our resistance is weakened by leaving the avenues open. If you leave the avenues open, then our resistance is weakened. Are you wondering why you are attempting to forsake a certain sin and you can't do it? Well, there is an avenue of your soul that is open, and you need to close that avenue. Search yourself, introspect, ask God to show you what avenue is open. But you can probably tell by just self-examining. You already know where the gate is open that lets the enemy in. And when you have done that, then your resistance is weakened, and you keep falling back, and you keep falling back, and you keep falling back. So close those avenues to the soul, and you will be on the path to victory over sin. And then finally, I just want to inspire us that let us learn from God. Let us learn from God. Let us learn from His Word. Let us learn from His Word. And in order for us to have wisdom from God, we need to be fools in the sinful knowledge of this age. We need to be fools in the sinful knowledge of this age for us to have wisdom from God. The wisdom from God conflicts the wisdom of the world. And so, for us to have the wisdom of God, we need to be ignorant. Well, not really ignorant, but rather we need to be fools in the sinful knowledge of this age. We don't really need to be smart in the things of this age that are sinful. No, we need to learn from God for us to receive proper wisdom. We need the wisdom that comes from God. God is the author of wisdom, and therefore He is the appropriate being to go to when we need wisdom. And finally, if you like this video, feel free to like, subscribe, and share, and leave your comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you and bye.